Hi guys, Omar here for another video on the Fuji X-T20. Totally loving the camera still. I took it out this weekend I was shooting a reception and I just I could almost hear the camera screaming like, no, don't take me to work. But I wanted to see how it would perform in sort of, not grueling conditions, but challenging conditions. Receptions are, the DJ lighting changes. They're super dark. So I put the camera on my hip on a little like spider holster, and every now and then would take it out and just test it and play around with it. But I didn't buy this camera to be a working camera. As you know, as I mentioned in the other videos, it's just to bring on vacations, it really brings the fun back into shooting for me. Because my Canons have kind of become, work monsters. Hey, Cap. Cap is with us today. Disclaimer, I am by no means a Fuji X-T20 expert or a Fuji expert. These videos are more my experience with the camera as an owner, as a user of it. I'll link up some awesome YouTubers that do a fantastic job reviewing cameras. But also what I'm loving is everyone who comments below, people who are like interested in the camera, people who already have it. So keep your comments coming. The other thing is I'm learning too. There have been some great suggestions in the comments below. Like for example, in the last video I mentioned how the ergonomics of the camera are something to get used to. It's just the camera is really small. I didn't know that they sold a hand grip for it. So that's something that, thank you, whoever commented there. If anyone has the camera, leave comments below for people finding this video, what your experience is with the camera. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to buy it. Don't you like it? You want it? What I'm looking for when I'm shooting event photography are quick reactions. I sort of roam through the crowd and look for focus, shoot really quick. People laughing, these moments are so fleeting. You need to be super fast and the camera needs to be ridiculously fast just to get people's screams, people's laughter. It ends so fast. All right, spoiler alert. During the event, it did an amazing job at grabbing focus super, super, super fast. For such a little tiny camera, bam, super impressed. I stood by one of the dancers at the party, one of the entertainers, and she was kind of going back and forth really quickly, looking to the right, looking to the left, looking to the right. So I popped the flash on the Fuji X-T20. Your Fuji X-T20 can fire Yongnuo flashes. And I basically was trying to focus fire as fast as possible, but she was kind of moving a little too quick. So I tried it with the Fuji and I kept missing her. Now, before you think it's the camera's fault, I think I still need a little bit more experience with just pre-focusing and then forgetting to focus. What I was trying to do was focus fire. So she would turn around, I wanted to focus fire all in one motion, which is what I do with my Canon. But it seems like the focus fire is millisecond slower than the Canon 5D Mark IV. So what I would need to do next time, again, I was working, I didn't want to just do all these tests. I think I would need to pre-focus once and then as she turns, just fire. So I think I'll try that next time. I then grabbed the Canon and got the shot right away, and those are these shots you see now. The other thing to note with shooting the dancer is that I was using the button focus, so I was half pressing and firing. That's what I was testing. But I think I'm going to move back to my comfort zone of the back button focus. So that way I can acquire focus on the dancer, and then just wait, and just use the shutter to fire. So I'm going to try that next time. But I don't want to bring it to a party too much. I don't want to work with the camera too much. I want to bring it for the fun times. At the reception, there were a lot of DJ lights and the ambient light in the room was kind of bright. So I wanted to test how the camera would do in really, really, really dark. So here in the office, I turned off all the lights and lit a candle and shot some models. Let me introduce you to our models. Our first model, Barbara. This is Bruce. He's just so angry all the time. Can you tell I'm a comic nerd? All right, for the test, the first thing is I put it on single shot mode and put it also on single focus point. This way I could just have one little green dot. And basically this is the office with the room lights on. It's pretty dark because I'm at 6400 ISO and the shutter speed is 15. And but it's still acquiring focus. Now you can actually change the size of your focus point, and I found when I made it larger, you can totally grab focus a little faster than when it's smaller, which is great. I then tried the touch focus, and it was pretty snappy. It was great. Anything I focused on, great. And then I tried the touch to shoot, and that one I found a little strange. It was kind of like a delay. I guess it has to like focus, think, and shoot, but it works. It totally works fine in the dark. It still finds focus. So you can change the size of your focus point by hitting, the grid, and then using your scroll wheel to change the focus point. So I tried with a tiny focus point on the touch, and it did fine. It still found focus, again a little slower, but still totally fine. This is the Canon 5D Mark IV. I'm totally trying the same thing with a live view, and it does a decent job. It's not designed to shoot in live view, but it did a pretty good job. I would say on par with the Fuji, if not slightly slower, dare I say, but I wouldn't shoot in live view with the Canon for serious work. We then lit a candle and shut all the room lights off. This is like super ridiculously dark here. One thing to know is that if you're going to shoot in total dark, you don't want the screen to simulate exposure. So you want to go into your menu by the wrench and go to preview exposure and turn that off, because you kind of want like night vision, which is awesome. So you can totally focus in the dark. The camera sort of like sees in the dark. It hunted. Down here there's this guitar in the pure dark it couldn't find, but it found the top of the guitar, which was cool. And then with the touch focus with the candlelight right by the books, totally no problem. And here on Barbara, I'm focusing on her logo. 5D Mark IV, hunting a little bit, totally fine. This is with live view. It found fine, but when I went down to the pure dark, it just completely struggled. It couldn't even grab the top of the guitar. It couldn't find it. Poor 5D. So then I popped the flash on in the room so we can have our shutter speed up to 180. That's the sync speed. ISO 800, and now just trying to see, once you acquire focus, the flash fires like a little second later, pretty quick. So we just focus, shoot. I found that a couple of times the flash took a second to think. Then just for fun, I put it on continuous low and just fired away to see if, you could reach the buffer with the flash. And I took about 40 pictures of Batgirl, and for Hulk we did almost 50, and then I just stopped because I didn't want to kill the camera. Then I tried the touch to shoot, but what's weird is you don't get really an indicator that the focus was acquired. You kind of just get there's like a pause, and then it shoots right away. So I tried it in somewhere I knew that it couldn't acquire focus, which was the dark area, and it still takes the picture. Both cameras struggled with finding the bottom of the guitar, but the top, which had a little bit of candlelight, I guess, hitting it, the Fuji X-T20 did a lot better than the Canon 5D Mark IV. The 5D Mark IV was like, which is so annoying. Now, one cool thing, if you want to focus in the dark with the Fuji X-T20, is it has a focus assist beam. They call it like a focus illuminator. So let me show you how to turn that on. Just go to your menu in the autofocus manual focus. If you go down, you'll see AF Illuminator. There you can turn it on, and it gives you a focus assist beam, which is pretty bright. I found that the lens hood blocked it if you do it on the wall or something, so it leaves kind of a weird shadow. The Fuji X-T20 has various focus modes. I'll be sure to make a video on the different ways you can focus with your camera. If you're a new user to the camera, that might be helpful. So there you have it, a quick look at the Fuji X-T20 focus acquisition. To make a long story short, it is amazing. It's like ridiculous. This little freaking thing.